Okay, that's working. That's working. Background music's working. All right. I think we're pretty much good to go. Just gonna do a little bit of busy work here. Getting some stuff in order. Let's see. It is October 2nd today. Oh, and I should probably figure out where to post the little ditty real quick. Got 2 minutes. We can make it happen. Okay. Whoa. All right, I'm also posting in the Discord. All right. Let's take the glasses off. Unfortunately, I just finished my drink. How wonka-donk is that? Okay, anything else I need to do before getting started here? I might just go ahead and start. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think there's only 30 seconds left on the clock. We'll go ahead and get started. Well, hello, and welcome back, everybody. Oh, this is interesting. It looks like we are missing the music right there. Let me get that fixed. Code screen. I'm surprised code screen came back to the right screen. Normally that one gets messed up. So let's see. Brave beta. Music. There we go. All right, there's the music. Okay, and with that, I think we're ready to go ahead and get started. So the objective for the day is pretty simple. Well, simple being a relative term. But what I have to do is we have our internal API, and it is not well suited for an external API for many reasons, one of which is that the ID system that we use internally just doesn't make for a good external ID system. And that was the last stream, and I will be continuing with that in this stream. And then we also have objects that give way too much information, because the objects were originally designed directly to be templated out into the HTML. So the shape of the objects represents the page much more than it represents the things, if that makes sense. So it's the relationships are... Turn the heater down a little bit. It's getting up real cozy. We're almost up to 70 degrees. It's in the 50s today. Okay. So with that out of the way, I will go ahead and just get started and get back to where we need to be. Okay, so let me take a look at the logs here. Oh yeah, I was going to lowercase the ulids, and then we're going to backfill them. And let me make sure that the other environment is set up the same way right now. What? I'm very confused. Let me check something out real quick. It's telling me the wrong name. Okay. Let's make sure my computer still has the right name. I'm going to go into sharing on the other screen real quick, because my computer has a name that I gave it on purpose. Okay, I don't know where computer name went in this. Yeah, that's right. Huh, interesting. Anyway, I'm all cozied up. I got 3 heaters going and a fan to circulate the air. And it's probably been about an hour, and the room's gone from 50-something degrees to 70, which is right where it should be. It feels a little cozy. Alright, I'm getting into the staging environment here. And I'm just out. I need... Alright, let me bring this over here. So I'm just going to look through. Let's make this big enough. And I guess we could just... Well, we'll switch between the two like this for now. I'm not going to worry about that. Okay. So let's see if staging has all the commits that I think that it ought to. And it looks like it does. Okay, good. So then I'm going to continue over here, and I just want to check my latest handiwork a little bit. Back to, well, we could do get diff main, I think. Oh, no. Okay, good. All right. So we're just going across various tables in the database. This is what we did last time, adding public IDs. I'm just going through here to just kind of catch up with what I did last week, because my brain cannot hold a whole lot for a long time and I need to review things often. So once we have put the public IDs in, then we say it's not nullable. Although, this is going to cause some problems almost immediately. In fact, I'm surprised nobody has contacted me about this yet today. And let me see if anybody has contacted me about this today. No, not yet. Okay, so we go ahead and we make these pub IDs and we make them not nullable. But before I get to pruning the objects, what I need to make sure is that in all the places where these things are created, user, account, resource, feature type, I need to make sure that the pub ID is created, because otherwise it's going to fail when it gets created, because first we're saying that it's nullable and then we're saying that it's not nullable. So let me go and take a look. I think we have few enough places where a user is created now. I think that should be in source lib user. And we have probably, yeah, we've got to create, and I'm wondering, do we have that if password, blah, blah, blah. Do we have something underneath of this? Insert and fetch. Let's just look for insert. Okay, that looks like it's the only place. By the way, what's up? How you doing? Are you returning? Are you new? Let me know. Because. Okay. So one of the things that we need to do is make sure that whenever we run the insert and fetch, a new user, owner.pub ID equals, and this is where, in the same place that we did the database migration to backfill ULIDs, I should do the same thing here. Let's see, do we have anything about that? No. Okay. Let me see where that normalized function is. I don't think this did anything with the date. No, it doesn't. That makes sense. All right, so we're just going to create a new date, get the value of the date, and then create the pub ID as a lowercase concatenation of those things. Pub ID does not exist, so we're going to have to update the types. I'm trying to think if that's in index, source index maybe? Or is it source types? Or is it just top level types? It's top level types. Okay, so now we need to have a string here, which is going to be pub ID. And we're going to do the same thing for orgs. And then resources and whatever else it was. I think the resource one might be a little more difficult. Let's see. Pub ID, individual ULID. Oh, and we needed to bring the ULID library over. Okay. Seems kind of stupid, but whatever. I really don't like that. If I'm testing to see if a property exists on something and it doesn't exist, because this is kind of the, what would we call this? Not the union, the intersection. So this seems to provide more of a type intersection than what I actually want, which is more of a type union. Hmm. Okay, so there's the normalize. There I provide the ID. So that one's easy enough. The account could be more tricky because I don't know if we're as well defined on accounts. Oh. Let's see. Okay, account utils create. Oh, somebody said hello somewhere. Oh, okay. That was different. 1 second. I need to go check something. Where are you? There you are. Uh, I need to just handle something. This won't take me more than just a few seconds here. Let's see. I'll be back momentarily. Okay, that's good then. Okay. Okay, now I'm back focused. All right, so somewhere in here, I need to figure out where I'm creating. Let's see, where does company name go? In here? Let's go check out how I was doing this right here. I'm pretty much going to do the same thing. So I'll copy over the line for third-party utils. And then I'll copy this over. And what I'll do... Hey! What's up, Cypher? I'm doing good. I'm just getting back into it after being gone for a couple months. So... And now I'm streaming during the day rather than at night. So we'll see how this works out. Pretty much alienates all of my prior viewer base. What are you up to? Okay, so we want a transaction there. And I think I was just going to do org on this. So I was gone because we had a family vacation, and then when I got back, I was working on a project that I couldn't stream, and the project that I could stream was in jeopardy of maybe not being able to continue. And now I'm into a point of the project that I couldn't stream that I can stream, and the other project is also looking healthy again. So I should be able to continue. But due to life circumstance changes, I am now going to be working primarily during the day like a normal person and rarely at night. Okay, so hub ID. This one seems a little bit weird to have a transaction in here because there's nothing else that requires a transaction. But I do want to do a spot check and make sure that there aren't other places. Holy moly. There's a ton of other places where this is being required. Oh, that's what I needed to do. Hold on. So I need to look for inserts in all of these. And I need the context here. For all of these, I need to change... I forget what context is. I think it's maybe in, after num, before num, dash C. I think it's dash C context. Only account of selected lines is written. Capital C. Actually, I think before would work in this case. Because I don't think I really need the after. But we could do this. We could do... we could change RG for RG-B2 and -A1. And we could run that again. Oh, did that end up being binary? Oh, capital B. Alright, let's change that. There we go. Okay, so I just want to check out account user. Okay, so that's inserting a relationship between the user. That's not a problem for us. I just want to check and make sure there's no other places where an account is created. I don't think that there is. I think it should just be this one place right here. This new account equals. I'm pretty sure that's the one that I just modified. But I will double check on that. I'm going to skip this because it has vocals. Skip the music, and then I'll get back to chatting it up in a minute. Okay, I did not see any place where account is being used to insert, to create, other than this one place, which is what I want. Okay, so that's good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put this out there. Type updates for ULIDs. We'll push that. Switch to staging. Pull. Rebase on ULIDs. Force push that. And then I'm going to go back and continue to work out potential issues. The resource is one where I would not be surprised at all if there aren't dozens of places where that are created. And that would be difficult to work with. I might be able to just put something directly in here with the constructor. Let's see. Modifiers, basic. Gonna have to check this. Okay, I will look at comments in just a second. So resource. All right, unilaterally, and other than this one place, it's always called resource. So I have to find out where there's a resource.insert, and I have to pull that out a little bit. Okay. You started a software dev role, and that's been your life for the last 6 months. Well, good for you. Why am I looking for inserts? Because we are making a public API, and our internal IDs are not suitable for sharing externally. Because there are various bad characteristics about the IDs we use internally. They originally were auto-incrementing. And auto-incrementing IDs open you up to a type of attack. So, if there is a vulnerability in your application that lets people arbitrarily access something, say there's somewhere where your security permissions aren't correctly in place. There's some sort of loophole where a function gets called that's a privileged function and it can do whatever. If your IDs are auto-incrementing, then that makes it very easy for... Hold on. I need to turn this down. The temperature's getting a little too warm. Between these heaters, they're not all sensing the same heat. Then what that means is that somebody can just walk the IDs. So they can put in ID 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, and they can discover a lot about your system. Now, we fixed that to some degree. We made the IDs random, but we only made them random from the point forward that we implemented the change. Now, that was fairly early on in terms of our bigger customers. We do still have customers that are on the old ID system. But as for exposing a public API, we just don't want to ever expose those IDs. Plus the ID space is really small because it's 32-bit integers. So even when you are generating those randomly, it is small enough of a number that as we get more customers, we'll eventually have random ID collisions. And the way that we handle that is we just roll the dice again. If there's an ID collision, then we just generate the random ID again and continue forward. But for a public API, having ULIDs is, I think it's a good idea. And so that's what we're going with. And ULIDs are a random ID that is sortable because it has a time component. So that was the idea. Anyway, I'm going to go back here and check out resource model. That looks like the only place where it's called resource model. Okay, that makes sense. So anyway, the reason I was looking for inserts, I don't think I actually ever answered the question. The reason I was looking for inserts was because I just wanted to make sure that there should only be one place where we create users or accounts, and that one place should attach the new form of ID. Oh, you asked me, hey Kai, what's up? Good to see you again. Long time. I do want to take a look. I saw your tweet. I do want to take a look at that. Haven't taken the opportunity to take a look at it yet. Also haven't really had much opportunity to take a look at it yet. But you asked what's my favorite, but what was that in reference to? Because I don't know what I was saying at the moment. So I like ULIDs. If we're talking about what's my favorite type of random ID, ULIDs. But we're doing ULIDs with a prefix. So it's kind of the way that Stripe does it. Stripe has prefixes to their IDs. You see this in other places, especially places that use graph queries or graph databases or abstractions of graph queries and graph databases. The IDs are prefixed so that you can tell at a glance what type of ID it was that something's related to. And I like that idea. So we have this insert here. That's a select. That's a select. All right, this is only inserting for the schedule, which is good. That's what I wanted to see. And then where I was doing this other thing, I want to do the same thing here. Resource. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I was doing before. Oops. There we are. So then I can run this again and then see all the context surrounding any of the inserts. And what I'm looking for is more specifically where we have a resource and an insert. So we're going to go from top to bottom here. All right, resource, insert, and fetch. Okay. So I got to take a look at that one. That's just querying. Okay. Insert and fetch on that one as well. We'll insert graph and fetch. Okay, there's another one. So there's at least 3 places where we insert a resource, which I forgot what I'm calling that. I think entity. I think I'm calling it entity. Okay, there's 4 places, 5 places. Six places. All right. So another thing I need to do here is, okay, we're going to take this and we're just going to get rid of it for now. And then what we're going to do instead is we're going to replace dot star with echo Okay, did that work? No, that did not work. We need to do /r rather than /n. There we go. So now I can know which place these things are happening at, because I've got that now. And actually, let's do one better. Let's just at the end of each of these, which I could go back and redo the thingy that I did, but I'm not going to. Okay. So now if I do this again, looks a little better. All right, great. Yeah, you have things like the SK_live. That one, is that Stripe? Is that how they do their token? Because I know I've seen that, but I don't remember which system that is. But yeah, you get stuff like that. You went through a massive move from Singapore to UK. I remember you announcing that. Only just getting my life together. Okay. Yeah, I am only just getting my life together as well after almost 40 years. That's so weird. Whoa, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30. That's so strange. I mean, I guess I've got the gray hair for it. I don't know. I just still think of myself as in my 20s. Or my teens. I pretty much still think of myself as 17. And I don't know that I'll ever not think of myself as 17. Hmm. Oh, whoops. No, that's not what I wanted. Let me take that back. Because we have different types of insert. I think what I want is a dot star. Okay, there we go. Unclosed group. Okay. Okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? What's up? I'm going through database insert calls, trying to figure out where I need to update. What kind of insert a layer of abstraction. I don't really want to do this in objection. I don't like ORMs, I've found. Which, that's not news to anybody who's been watching for a while. But there's just too much. It's an abstraction in the wrong place, because you don't need an abstraction over your database. You need an abstraction over your storage. And ORMs are targeting the database, which you just have to interact with the database anyway. the layer of the abstraction needs to be something like SQL C, something where you are free to use the database, but then you get type safety because something is introspecting the database, not at compile time. Something's introspecting what the SQL means at compile time. And I think there could be some manner of SQL builder that is the right level of abstraction. It just seems like it gets too complicated having to deal with learning multiple languages, because you have to learn SQL anyway, and then learning whatever abstraction over top of it. That if we had a standard language for abstracting SQL that was syntax friendly to programming languages, meaning using dots and parentheses, and had some way of specifying what it should look like in other languages, then I think that could be a good thing. Not that I think it could be a good thing, but I don't necessarily think that it can't be a good thing, is the better way to put it. Okay. So here, R2, where did R1 come from? Okay, new res. I might need to make a little library. pubid.js. Oops. I'm just going to go take what I did in the user file, copy that over here as well, and it seems kind of silly to just have that be it, but I think it'll work. Okay, there we go. All right, checking back on comments here. All right, not seeing any new comments. All right, again. Just looking for resource. I guess I could go into this file. It's a query. That insert we already got, that our insert we already got, and I think we're back to the queries. So then I should be able to go back here to pub ID and then just plop this right there maybe. It's all util stuff. I don't think I have any lib stuff, but just as well. Okay, so resource, that one. Okay, it's going to be the same here. You're reading about high-profile projects moving to JS Doc as I've been advocating. Yeah, I've seen that. It's interesting. I would like to learn what they're doing. I hope that they'll publish how they're doing it, because I feel like the way I'm doing it isn't as great as it could be. I don't know. I want to see more tips and tricks. I feel like I run into a significant number of stumbling blocks. And I'd like to see how they're dealing with it, or if they're not. If they're just having the same issues that I have. Though TypeScript 5 is better at detecting, it is better at following the JavaScript and detecting types correctly than TypeScript 4 was. Which it was TypeScript 4 when I started doing that. And so some of that pain has been eased. One of the things I like from Rust is either do full assignment or do fully implicit. One or the other, but not both. Okay. All right, that looks like that one's done. I don't think that one's something to worry about. I don't think that one's something to worry about. This one is something to worry about. So create resource will be the next one. Or maybe not. No, this one we don't have to worry about. Okay, there we go with the insert again. Turn new company.id. Okay. Oh my goodness. So this right here, this used to just be a number all throughout the code base. There are so many changes I've made to this. And there's a lot of refactoring that I've done that never actually got pulled in. Never got pulled in because various reasons. Different things going on at the same time. Let's see. Okay, resource query, insert and fetch, new company. Oh, and I need to bring that piece back in here from this one. Probably do just fine. Do we have any lib stuff here? So one thing that I would love to finish doing, well, there's a lot of things I'd love to finish doing, but I put the model stuff up higher. QRS. So it's like that. And then Sentry is almost never needed anymore. Let's see. My belt's starting to dig into my belly, and it makes my belly itch. Probably just have to take the belt off in a minute. Have you ever worked with Lambda and the AWS JavaScript runtime? No, I just assumed that it was Node. Is it not Node? I thought that when you ran AWS Lambdas, it spun up a Node process and then ran it that way. And I know that you have to have this translation layer that translates between a Lambda request and an Express request, or you could just use the Lambdas natively. But the time that I've used it, I saw that it was using some sort of translation layer, so it felt like you were using... Well, I think you actually were using Express. It felt like it was an HTTP stack, even though it really wasn't. Actually, I did use it myself. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because there was... I was working with Sonos on their ad streams, and there's a certain combinatorial logic about most users. It was kind of a cohort-based system, and so most users are going to be in the general cohort. And so if you knew what songs were going to play on a station, then you could pre-render the stitch in on the ads. But then for personalized ads that were highly targeted, then those would have to get rendered just in time. So as a person is listening to the radio stream, when it's their turn for an ad slot in, the ad goes in, and then the ads were tailored with a little bit of time so that the station would stay on track and stuff. And I don't, well, at this point, I actually don't know if that implementation detail, well, I think that's vague enough to not be proprietary information. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. It's always hard to... I wish they would just list out what is proprietary information. Of course, there's so many layers. I mean, I did not directly work for Sonos. I worked for somebody that was working for somebody that was working for them, but the work I did ended up in the product. But we used Lambda to be able to get, stuff sorted out. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious that if you wanted to run a batch job in parallel, you would use something akin to Lambda so that you can run a batch job in parallel for the number of users that the batch job pertains to. I think that's kind of an oh duh. I don't think that's a, whoa, let's rack our brains and it's some of that stuff. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So Sentry, this is the only place that Sentry is used. I mostly got rid of the Sentry stuff and just have things bubble up so that they're captured by Sentry. Token evaluator inner. But there's some things that are based off of events where the errors don't bubble up necessarily. So this appears to be one of those situations. Let's see, does this ever go parse event details inner? Parse event details. And I'm pretty sure, yeah. So unfortunately, I don't know what this bubbles up to, because I would like to get rid of that call to Sentry. I mean, that's kind of off topic for what I'm actually doing, but just while I was here, I was noticing that I've eliminated it from most places, because really it is the thing that is triggering the events that if an error cannot be handled, it should be registered with Sentry. So this, hopefully this is redundant. And if I removed it, nothing bad would happen. But I'd have to go chase that down. I'm going to take a minute to chase it down. If it's too far of a rabbit hole... Okay, this is just... Okay, there's a whole bunch of stuff there. Okay, yeah, there's a whole ton of places. Yes. So this does not have a common ancestor. It does not appear. That's something I've worked. Yeah. Detangling, despaghettifying the event system is something I would really like to do, but it's one of those things that somewhat looks like, or exactly looks like, an insurmountable task. Can I call this an int? There we go. Wait. Why are we doing this indirection here? This code may have been written before await was a thing. That might be why this is like that. Okay, anyway, this looks good. The pub ID is there. I can go on to the next one, I'm pretty sure. Oh, whoops. Okay. And I also used a system, Kai, like, what is it? Like this. So if you take a look at this issue here, well, it's just a place for notes. So this is actually tested. So this is safe to use. I've used this in production. But this bit right here will allow you to run tasks in parallel, which, depending on your architecture... How did we do this? I'm trying to remember what we did. Because there was part of it we did... There's kind of two pieces. There was the big batch job, which is put the stations together ahead of time. And then there were the individual jobs that needed to be done in real time, which was mostly to do with ad cohorts and targeted ads. And then I don't remember what Q was for. Oh, so parallel was for taking an array of stuff and passing it into a function. And then Q was just for running a function. So the idea being, there might be a number of... Keep it on going queue of a fixed size. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So you might want to be able to have 4 tasks running at a time, but different types of tasks. So you have a function that encapsulates the entire task, all data associated with the task, and then you just push onto that queue. And this one, function push, return push. So this one is slightly a lie, because it should return an object with push in order to match that right there. But it doesn't actually return the object, it just returns the function. So that's the thing that needs to be reconciled there. But if you needed to go spawn other jobs, I don't think that's actually relevant to what we were talking about. Never mind. Forget I said anything. I need to fetch 4 downstream APIs and 1 aggregated API. Would you parallel it? Yeah, that might be a job for one of these. It just depends. Remember that you're running on virtualized hardware that, typically speaking, is 1/2 of a hyperthread. So running things in parallel works when they're IO bound up to a point. Because Yeah, you kind of have to tweak the numbers to figure out what's right for your use case and to make sure that you don't go exponential. But yeah, one of these two could help you in terms of being able to do, say you want there to be able to be 20 outstanding requests at a time. And to some degree, Node's network stack, I believe, already handles this with the agents. But if you have, if you're, it depends on what you're making calls to and how their architecture is handled. But yeah, I mean, test it and see. But just because you get a speed up with one customer doesn't mean that you'll get a speed up if you have 1,000 customers. You could actually get a slowdown. So that's where you have to figure out, does running so many things concurrently or so many things in parallel, does it help you or hurt you? Because when it's just one customer, it's almost always going to help you. But when it's 1,000 customers, it might hurt you, because you might just end up thrashing the service that you're using with bunches of requests that can't be resolved in time anyway, and then you have all the overhead of the asynchrony. Okay, so what was I doing here? All right, back to this. We had create resource. Check account resource. Was this one? Did we do this one already? Parse event details. This one we get to skip. That one we get to skip. This one we get to skip. That one we get to skip. Okay, now we're up to account. And then let me just take a quick look at all the inserts here. And then we have resource itself. Okay. So it looks like account resource outside form is where we're at. And this myutils, it's called myutils because it's MySQL. Just offhanded comment there. And then I think the next one was, let's just check and see. So then there was outside form and there was resource. So account, and then resource, and then outside form. Find, insert. There we go. Okay. All right, that's something that makes me a little bit nervous. It's probably all fine. URS. O comes before. Problem is, this might cause conflict with some other changes. I don't want to do that. I would like these to be sorted. Now, U goes at the bottom. LMNOP. Errors goes up towards the top. F, L, E, F, A, B, C, D, E, F. Yeah. There we go. So that's how I prefer that. Let's go through the resources. There was... Okay, new resource. That's where the insert was called. Back up here. Okay. So if I did this, that works, but then this needs to be entity again. Find one, insert. Find, patch. Find, patch. Delete. Patch. Let's see here. Resource. Find. I think we may have... Yeah, now we've rolled over. Okay. And I think the last one was room, if I remember correctly. Nope, it was not. I did not remember that correctly. It might have just... So there's resource and then what? Okay. Reminds me that I need to configure some time... Oh, some timeout for the patch. Yeah, so... Bah! The mix and match that is JavaScript, because they've introduced a thing that's like context, except it isn't as well thought out, because apparently they couldn't afford to have any Go developers on the committee. What is it called? It's like abort controller, I think is what they call it. So it took a while for Go to get that, and it does feel kind of boilerplatey. Not kind of. It feels boilerplatey in the same way that error feels boilerplatey. I don't know what the better way to do it is, but it's certainly not abort controller. I don't think that that's the better way to do it. I think that context is the better way to do it. Hey, tech support. What's up? How are you doing? Oh, it's in flat feature. That's where I need to be. Oh, wait, I already did this one. Okay, great. So I created my little pub ID bit. I want to go back and see where... Okay, I can go back. There we go. Now I do need to go back and make sure in one of these that I didn't have... Yeah, this thing. Oops. See what happened there? Did you see that? Ugh. Can I fix? Okay, good. It can be fixed. Yeah, I accidentally left the comma there, and it happened to be valid because reasons. Okay, should be pretty... Okay, int, individual. Int, and org. Okay. Oh, long time no see. Hopefully no see ever again. Just zig. That pun came out of nowhere. I'm trying to read your username. By the way, are the chats showing up here? Because I have that set so they get deleted after 30 seconds. So almost always by the time I've looked down here, they're not down here anymore. So I don't actually remember whether or not I've seen them there. Okay. Geklor the Orc. Okay, yeah, I see they show up now. Now I'm consciously paying attention to it. Geklor the Orc. What up, Geklor? Geklor. It's a hard one to say. Okay, there is also something I need to go approve real quick. So I'm going to go do that. I may need to take a potty break in a few. So I'm on another screen just reviewing a pull request. I think I'm going to be able to... Yeah, this looks like just new feature stuff. Hmm. Interesting. Sorry for being boring while I'm reading through this. Okay. I might give this better look later. Let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and approve this for now. Oh, wait. Log. Okay, I'm going to be back in just a second. I think I'm ready to come back now. All right. I just needed to look through that on the other screen. I wanted to make sure that it didn't conflict with any of the files that I'm changing, and it doesn't look like it does. And I actually want to turn this into 2 different PRs. Basically, I'd like it if I could get all of the little bit of refactoring I did to alphabetize things. I would prefer to have that in its own commit. So I wonder... Whatever. Oops, not rebase staging. Okay. Let me push this, let it deploy. Oh. I'm missing some things. That's good to know. All right, I'm going to go take a look and see. Well, let me go take a look at the commits here. Files changed. Bunch of files changed. Okay, so this has got the API token stuff. Wait, didn't I base this off of... No, I didn't. Okay, this needs to be based off of API token, so I'm not looking at the changes that are related to that one. Okay, that makes this a lot smaller. Yeah, see, this stuff I'd like to... Anytime I edit the file, I want to get the requires or the imports alphabetized. But then I also want to make the changes that I need to make. Yeah, I kind of... I think this is good enough. Go with it. All right, let me check chat. All right, no more messages in chat as of yet. Okay. Let's see. Let me go check and make sure that deploy did not go sideways. Make sure the deploy is the right one. 8EB. 8EB. Okay, good. So that looks like that went well enough. Okay, now I need to look at... Now we're getting to what the actual title was. Where I need to go figure out how to prune information. This is kind of stinky, but we'll see how this goes. So we have these places where we just prefix a v1 after it. I think the v1 prefix should go before, not after. But the problem with that is that it could... then we have to do some duplicate, which is probably fine, actually. We have to do some duplicate permission stuff, because we have all our permission stuff based on this prefix of /account. So if our permission stuff is up at that layer, which I think, where do we see that most? There we go. Okay, so now you can see it. So here we have our permission stuff. We could just duplicate that and have it exist on the v1. I just have some concern that that could get out of sync. So maybe it is better. I'm not sure. Because we may actually want to have different permissions on our v1 API than we have elsewhere. Okay. So I think for now, the safest thing to do is to continue to follow that pattern of having the v1. It feels a little weird, but I think it's the right thing to do. Wait, oh, that's auth is for sessions. Okay. What do you do? Bounce user index get accounts. So we're going to take this, we're going to copy it, and we're going to do something different. Interesting. I don't think we're going to fetch that. Let's see what this looks like. Account, documents. Yeah, I don't think we're going to fetch that. We're going to fetch the user with any accounts they may have. But I think we're going to call this get orgs v1. And I'm going to flippy flop that to orgs. Okay. So this is an interesting query. I'm not sure if this is actually complete or not. I don't know if this will show all accounts that they actually have access to. I kind of want to go check that out. User access. Okay, it does have partner stuff in here too. So this might have some really weird logic in it. No, it doesn't look like it. But I don't know how this is accurate. Because if this is only returning access via... Okay, user access, and this does not show partner access. But we actually do want to show partner access. Why is this here just to do nothing? Huh. I think that later on, a similar function gets called again. I have to think about this. Alright, we're gonna have to return a public org. User access query. Account name, okay, account.created at. Let me go check that model again. Does this automatically limit? It just says map. Okay, this seems like it has project templates. Yeah, I don't know about that. ID column. Oh. Okay, I'll have to take a look at that later. User access account, user access.account ID to account.id. Okay, so we're going to have pub ID, and then we're going to have name. I'm a little confused. This one. Okay, we're just remapping. Is that right? Name. Okay. looking over at documentation for what this actually looks like. I think that's kind of what we want to do. And then with the results, actually, want to leave that. Let results equals orgs. Would we ever need to paginate this? I don't think so. I don't think anybody's going to belong to 10,000 organizations or manage 10,000 organizations. But it probably would be good to add a sense parameter. Rec.query.sense or 0. Okay. I'm not really sure how to go about this one. So parcent times 1,000, we're still going to get an int. Okay. So I want to promote caching. So we want to do created or updated sense is basically what this should be. Okay, so that could work. There we go. And then I need to go look at the connect/objection thing and figure out how to specify updated at and how that would even work with graph, because I need a with graph fetched where, essentially. I don't even know if I want to do it that way. That just doesn't seem like the right way to do it, actually. Okay, user access. Yeah, I don't think that's the right way to go about it, because I basically I want to go from the account angle and then select where any of the conditions are met for a user that's active. And do we have the is current on here? Yeah. Let's see what GPT has to say about this. Graph options. When I ask it, how can I use with graph fetched? Well, let's see. This is what I'm going to say. Modify this objection.js query to only return accounts since a given updated at date. That's what my prompt is. Let's see what happens. Modify graph. Let's see if that's true. Let's search here for modify graph. Okay, cool. I think that makes sense. Maybe updated since. Okay, and then it's giving me this garbage about account does not exist on type user access, but this is where, you know, the type system for objection is really crazy and runtime specific. because these methods are building out the type that has those. Okay, so I can basically just tell it to ignore that. Because I don't know what else to do. Anyway, let me take a look at what I've got here. So, account name, account group, account order, interesting. I don't know if we're actually going to use those. So actually, I'm going to delete that. Because we should not expose anything that we're not sure that we have a use case for. And I'm not sure we have a use case for that yet. Oh, we should probably have the created at as... Oh, we've got... There we go. So we should have created at and updated. Okay. And... then we get rid of a bunch of this stuff here. Makes that a lot cleaner to read. Right. If brand ID dot starts with brand. There we go. Still stuck in Vim, blah. That's right. I have not been able to figure out how to get out of it. Thank goodness I can save my work. But no, I have not been able to figure out how to get out of it. I am indeed stuck in Vim. Okay. Okay, I think this one's going to be good. So this trims down what we're publicly exposing to being the public ID, the name, the brand ID, created at, updated at. Let me see if there's anything else we need to give. It might be nice to have who owns this or the role. Yeah, but the role one's a little difficult right now. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, and there's one more thing that we ought to do here. Yes.
What time would you like to eat?
I am hungry now, but I'm also in the middle of some work, so
5:30? In an hour?
in an hour, sure. Thank you, honey. Let's see, pub ID. Let's see here. I can't ever remember when this comes out of the database whether it's a string or an object, but either way, new date should solve my problem. Okay, and then I need to figure out this part. Okay. Let's go ahead and give this a type of... Ugh. It's a tough one. There we go. I think it comes out the database as a string. We'll figure this out in a minute.
Against endless hordes of relentless mist-born evil blight, I know I'll live somehow, and I'll uphold my vow with you now. At my back, my ally, under wings in the sky, I know how. All this decay, but we must stay into the fray. We'll be okay, see another day. But as fire pours forth from the black dragon's maw, have we seen?
Okay.
Crimson red eye up in the sky. Is this now why people must die? Not but you and I. No regrets from this threat. I will never forget how I feel. I always knew that when it's true I'd obey. My heart craves you, but I never knew how to say that I will always be your one and only rose of May. And I promise you'll never see the loss of me.
Let's see. Okay. So here we're going to enforce the ability to add unknown keys. Oh. To the object at any level. That's the goal. And maybe, actually, this would make the most sense to say if result.orgs.length result.orgs 0 There we go. All right. So that gives us some safety for the future. Make sure that we're actually using node 20xdx, yes, and then here. Okay, good. So we are using node 20xdx. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Tubso. Tubso? To be so. So what exactly are you trying to create here? I know nothing about coding or whatever. This is so speak to me like you would to a 5-year-old. The problem is I'm not really good at speaking to 5-year-olds. But what I'm working on is creating a way for companies to interface with our data. Period. That's what I'm working on. But particularly, we are making data available publicly or semi-publicly to select partners, and we do not want to reveal a bunch of internal data, and we also want to make sure that our partners don't screw stuff up. So what I'm doing here is a user, you can think of this like Facebook pages or I don't know, pretty much any sort of application where you can have multiple of something that you own, like an organization or a page or something like that. So this is to get a list of the organizations that a person has access to, because our product is a business life cycle product. But without getting into the specifics of it, it's just a list of things that they have access to. It could have been documents or folders or pictures or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're getting a list of things that they have access to, but rather than showing our internal implementation that we use, we are showing an external implementation that is limited, so it has less information. So our internal representation has all sorts of information about how their account is connected to Stripe and Box and little internal markers that we have about the type of user, a bunch of things that some things we know that there's no reason that the partners that are going to be interacting with this data should have access to those things. And as a general rule, whenever you're exposing something publicly, you should limit the data to only things that you know that the partner needs or would find useful. And that you must be able to add things in the future. of the same type of thing. So once we publish something, we can't change its type, but we can add new things that we haven't had before. And this little bit with the random key 1 and random key 2 is just me making sure that there is some random stuff that they can't predict being there, so that we know that their parser can handle us adding new things. So that's basically it. Seems interesting. Sounds way above my IQ, but it's cool watching you work through it. Keep it up, pal. Thanks. I will. All right. So what this is going to look like is essentially this. And I'm kind of tempted to take out the brand ID, though I think that that will come in handy. I'm pretty sure that one's going to come in handy, if nothing else than for debugging. So I think I will leave brand ID. So the brand ID this is what we call multi-tenanted, multi-tenanted, which means that you might go to our website, or you might go to a partner's website, or you might go to our customer's website. So depending on what the arrangement is, you might see something that has our logo, something that has a partner logo, or something that has the business or the organization logo. So let's say, for example, that, here's actually a good one. Disney. Disney was terrible at managing their brand assets until just recently. Disney, ESPN, and a couple of other really high-ticket brands didn't have their own domains, so Disney did not have Disney.com. Instead, it was Disney.go.com and ESPN.go.com. And I don't know what the relationship was there, but some consultancy that somehow convinced Disney and ESPN to not use their own domain name, but instead to use go.com. Now, this has since been rectified. But anyway, this is a good example of where if you go to Disney.com, you see all the Disney logos. Or if you go to Disney.go.com, you see all the Disney logos. If you went to ESPN.go.com, you see all the ESPN logos. And so the site was branded. But if you were go.com that manages these other brands, when that brand signs in to you, they would see the go.com branding. I don't know if that quite makes sense. Yeah, it should make sense. That should make sense. So depending on which website they go to, it's all on the same server, but it shows different branding based on the URL. And so a partner would be like go.com, where it manages other organizations. But when those organizations go to the management portal, they go to the go.com type of thing. Actually, yeah, this is good enough. Anyway, but if the brand is important and they interact with the application, the employees need to interact with the application more. I don't know what the word is. If they have a stronger relationship with it, then they would want their brand for the management portal rather than having our brand for the management portal or the partner brand for the management portal. you've seen this stuff on the web before. You've used websites that are white labeled or that are controlled by some other brand. Another good example of multi-tenanted would be Stack Overflow. It has their Stack Overflow and Stack Exchange and Server Fault and all the different sites it has. Also, farmersmeat.com, jewsmeat.com, christiansmeat.com, all of the xyzmeat.com. It's all the same company, but depending on how you log in, there's different branding. Anyway, I don't know why I got on that down that rabbit hole. Oh, because we're going to include the brand information, and I think that that's important because that will signal which brand they need to show, because the brand is independent from the organization. If the organization is being managed by a partner, we show the partner branding. If the organization is independently white labeled, then we show the organization's own branding. Otherwise, we show our branding. So it's multi-tenanted and white labeled. Anyway, so I think this is in a good spot. I think now I could put this up for testing. So I think I will. I'm just going to go ahead and let's see. There's v1 orgs. Let's see. Okay. Unterminated string oh. I see now. Why is it telling me crypto's not defined? It is defined. Oh, because I need to update this one as well. Yeah, wait. Get stash, get add, yes, hint. Okay, why is this still not working? Ugh. All right, good. Now let me do it. Uh-oh.
No sé si fue real o si fue una ilusión. Sentado en aquel bar,
GPT, API tokens.
rogaba que mis besos alcanzaran a tu corazón, soñando que cada mirada no fuera por casualidad. De nuevo estoy aquí.
Okay.
Mi vieja canción, sonríes para mí desde el mismo rincón. El tiempo ha marchitado nuestra
All right, so once this deploys, I need to go over and get rid of this one. Oh no, what have I done? Oh, there's my to-dos. There's my notes. Holy crap, holy. Really? Oh, how did that get out of sync? Let's see. I did notice that, but let's see. That did. There were issues, but I thought I had fixed them. Anything in particular? Let's see here. All right, I'm going to update content. Where was this? Organizations. V1 accounts. Oops. V1 accounts. Oh wait. So V1 orgs. Sample response. So we don't have that or that or pretty much any of this. And then I will find out what the org actually is in a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Oh, this would actually need to be we'll fix this. Probably shouldn't be called updated app. So maybe rather than a number, maybe it should be a string. It's more parsing, but then it's also a little bit easier to work with. I have to think on that one. And then I'm going to go select something here. Select pub ID from where ID equals, was this 97? All right, I think that that's about what we want. And then I'm going to have to do that for a few more of these. Let's see. Uh-oh. Something got borked. No, that's not what I want to do on this one. Okay, let's see. What in the world is going on? Hmm. Okay, we got a problem. Let me see. I wonder if the build server is out of disk space. Use 81%. No, that's not a problem. Okay, I'm going to try again. Let's just cause this thing to update itself. Holy moly. Alright, I might have to try that again. I think that the version, so the build server was running node version 14. I just switched it to running Node version 20, and we'll see if it does any better. But I think that, you know, that could have been related. Okay, I'm going to have to try a local build here. Okay. Okay. Weird. So the problem that I'm having appears to be that the package lock is not there. Which I don't know if that's true. There's a package lock here. So why is it griping? Package lock is here. Hmm. Looks like corrupt package lock.json. Okay. Hmm. So yeah, it looks like the package lock was the wrong version, possibly corrupt. Might have been a conflict when rebasing or something like that. Not a conflict, but a soft conflict. log file version 3. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Looks like this is going now. All right, I think that fixed it. Okay, sorry, I wasn't showing this on this screen, but well, you saw me recommit the lock file with node v20. Compatibility fixes. Okay. All right, so it looks like, okay, it looks like that's going through. The documentation, I think, was updated. So now I'm going to try one of the examples from the updated documentation. Got a dev token. Let's see if this works out. Oh, whoops, I forgot to do the base URL. Let me do that too. The example brand. Let's see. All right, authorization is missing or does not grant access. Looks like the authorization should be there just fine. Let me make sure that what's deployed does in fact have this stuff. Okay. Okay, let's see if the other one still works. Alright, so what's going on here? This was working. Why is it not working now? Alright, so that works again. So let's try to swap these out again. Pretty much the same. Authorization is token. Token is missing. Doesn't grant access. This doesn't make sense because it's the same token. So So something else has gone wrong here. I don't know what's going on, though. Let's check that error message again. I'm going to have to go here in just a minute. Okay, let's see. Okay, what is this from? Require account. Require account is where? Use account. Okay. I don't know about this. I don't know. I think this is where it's hitting it. Get user access, migrate user, acquire account. And then let's do this. I'm going to actually modify that on the real staging real quick. Alright. So we get a better message now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, something's going wrong. Alright, so there's an environment variable that's missing. Let's see if I can restart this and get it going again. Okay. All right, this looks right. So I don't know what was different. I'm very confused. I don't... What's different? Hmm. Oh, interesting. Okay, so that needs to be lowercase. I'm going to look for that real quick. And then I got to go. There we go, right here. All right, folks. I gotta go. Let me, I'm kicking it. Oh, whoops. Dang it. Let's pull these. All right. And okay. Gotta go. I don't remember how I sign off on this thing. I probably say something like, thanks for tuning in. Catch you later. Adios.